guys. Mark D'Amico, Celtics.com. A couple questions. First for you, Jaylen. You talked to me this morning about, here in the back left, talked to me this morning about Game 3 last year in Milwaukee and how you guys didn't come out expecting that energy. To be able to battle through everything that you did tonight, what did that feel like to be able to overcome that and grab that win that you guys weren't necessarily able to do last postseason?
It feels good. I'm looking forward to the next one. We just got to keep doing it. But we didn't get as many road wins as we wanted last year, and that was like a big key thing last year for us. So it feels good to get our first one to start this playoffs off in 2019.
And Kyrie, you've been through this before, many series. Being able to grab that win on the road to disallow them from getting back into the series, how significant is that for you guys moving forward?
It's a great step in the overall big picture. These guys in this locker room, they're kind of chomping at the bit to kind of get this first row win out of the way. And in order to do so, you got to really stay patient, understand that the game is going to fluctuate, it's going to go up and down. They're going to take the lead, we're going to take the lead. The fans are going to be into it. And you just got to be able to settle in. And, it's just basketball. So there's always some things that you can manage in the game and control, and you want to do that as much as possible. And the uncontrollable things, just next play mentality, and just move on. So, that's what it takes to be a next level team. It's just being ready for whatever's coming our way and then being able to deal with it. Excuse me, I have the sniffles, so I apologize for y'all. I don't want to be annoying and keep sniffling. So.
Joseph Pavone, WVEI, CLNS Media. Kyrie, after Game 2, I asked you about the progression this team has made in terms of late game execution. Mm-hmm. You talked about how difficult it is to do that on the road. You said, ask me after Game 3. Here we are. Kyrie, what do you make of how this team executed down the stretch? Another tight game and another victory for the Celtics.
Well, I think that the confidence is just at a very high level when we know what everyone's capable of on the floor. As you saw down the stretch, everyone made some big plays. They were little things in the grand scheme when you think about it, but they were big plays. An offensive rebound here, a tip out here, getting back in transition. Those are all the things that you need to do in order to really guarantee yourself a win. And we understood that they were playing with a desperate mentality. They didn't want to go down 3-0. Game 4 is going to be even higher intensity. But this is a great stepping stone for us to continue to go after the big picture, and that's just keep getting closer and closer to 16 wins. That's all it takes.
John Corrales, MassLive.com. Kyrie, that pick and roll that you and Al Horford went to over and over and over again, what's that feel like to know that you guys can just go to that when you need to? And how deep in the paint do you think you can take the ball before you have to give it up to Al?
Well, I think that you just find a balance in getting in the paint, but Al's going to be in the right place, and it's my job to deliver the ball on time and make sure I get it right in that breadbasket, right in the shot pocket, where he's able to just go up and shoot, and he made some big-time plays. Obviously that's something we can go to pretty frequently, but I think that when the game is going the way it's going tonight, it's better to get everyone else involved. And you saw that tonight, and that was the mentality I had in this game on the road is, really putting an emphasis on my teammates and putting their stamp on the game as well. It makes my job a lot easier. I had some shots that were pretty makeable, but when you got JB going 8 for 9 and Al Horford going 6 for 12, everyone's pretty much above 50%. And, the game's pretty tight. We feel like we have the game managed pretty well. So, obviously we're not always going to shoot like that, but it just makes it easier when everyone's touching the basketball and feeling good and we're getting easy baskets in transition.
Kyrie, along those lines of 10 assists tonight, did you kind of sense early on that their defense was kind of keying, collapsing on you, and you could find kind of other guys throughout the floor? Well,
I think they made it very clear what their emphasis was in their pregame with Nate McMillan, as well as when the ball first got tipped. And like I said, in the beginning, I knew what to expect. And those guys, JB, Aaron, Al, and Jason, and to start off the game the way we started, and feel pretty confident in the way of the flow, and it was our style of play, I feel like it just made every other thing a lot easier. So just getting back in transition because we're taking great shots. Everyone's driving to the basket. I feel like we settled in the second half a little bit, but we got back to what we do best, and that's driving the basketball and making plays for one another.
John Corrales, MassLive.com. Jaylen, difference between Game 1 and Game 3. I mean, obviously, you shot very well tonight. Is that just feeling more comfortable being in that starting rotation, or was just it felt good coming off your hands?
It's just every game varies. Every game is different. You know, game one was much different from game three, so I just try to be locked in and be aggressive when I'm out there. You know, things are going to change. Lineups are going to be switched around. I just try to come out and be aggressive, and tonight, you know, some shots happen to fall.
Kyrie, Kyle Nedrip, Indianapolis Star. You're up by 2, I think about 4 minutes left, and you had Sabonis, a one-on-one move you made there. What can you kind of go through that play and what you saw on that, and then obviously after the 2 plays to Horford right after that?
Well, they're doing a great job of forcing me left, bringing someone up to the other elbow, making sure I see bodies on all my drives. Like I said, it's my responsibility to see where I can be aggressive. I see Sabonis on me or any big or anybody for that matter, and I feel like I have an advantage. I should go attack, and that's going to be the same mindset. I know I have the confidence in my teammates to do that and do that at a very high level. So coming off, once I initiated that move going down the stretch against Sabonis, I knew that they were going to load up even more. So our middle pick and roll opened up as I started to drag out the big. And Al was open a few times, and he was in the right spot and knocked him down. But I feel like throughout the game, in that middle pick and roll, we had some open shots that Al, just very makeable shots. And, you know, I just kept giving him that confidence, just keep shooting. You know, those shots were going to be the same, whether they came in the first quarter or in the fourth. And it's just about knocking them down, having confidence. So, yeah.
Last 2 questions. First, Adam. Kyrie, Adam Himmelsbach with the Boston Globe. What's it like to look out and kind of close out a game with that group that a lot of people thought you guys would be starting with and kind of running with? You got Jaylen out there, you've got Gordon out there, and what can you guys maybe be capable of as the playoffs roll on?
It just shows we've come a long way, honestly, in terms of our maturity as a group. You know, just our mindset of whoever's on the floor, making sure that we're all giving each other confidence and we're all in the right spots and we're all doing the little things in order to assure a win. And when you have that type of camaraderie going in the huddles, everyone's talking, everyone's feeling great, then going out there and executing on defensive and offensive ends, it makes it a lot easier. So when you got that group that started off, and we started off pretty horribly this season, you know, and we just had time just to figure it out. And now that the stakes are at its highest, the pressure, whatever you want to call it, I feel like we're settling into who we really want to be, and that's just an overall great team. Everyone ready to play, and it could be anyone's night. And you just got to be ready to support that.
This is for Kyrie and Jason. Jaylen, sorry. Amanda Flugrad, Celtics.com. But just for you guys, looking to close out this series, what's the key to closing it out?
Just come out with a good mentality. I think they're going to come out and play hard. And tip my hat up to them. They played hard all 3 games. We've matched their intensity, but in game 4, we expected to take it to another level. So we got to come out and not take our foot off the gas and come out and still play some great basketball and defend at a high level and try to close this thing out.
I told these guys as soon as we got in the locker room, the hardest game in the series is to close our game, especially on the road. You know, obviously, we know it's at stake. We know the amount of pressure that they're putting on themselves, and we know the amount of pressure we're going to put on ourselves to play great. And that's just the reality of it. And you just got to be ready for the runs that they'll throw at us, the intensity, make sure they're picking up the basketball, being very aggressive. We just got to match it. We just got to be able to answer those calls, and we'll be okay. I think that throughout this series so far, we've done a good job of answering their calls, answering their runs. And it's going to be even louder in here. We expect an intensity to raise to another level, like JB said. And as long as we're locked in and very communicative on both ends of the floor, having some fun, playing hard, then we'll be okay.